So you don't run away from men, don't run away from the boys. I saw the guys. I had my boyfriend.
I'm not denying the fact that I have the sexual urges. In fact, that makes me a complete woman.
Vow. Vow is something that you are making a commitment, like your covenant with God. Jesus was a poor man. He didn't build houses. He didn't have cars, but he went around preaching.
Does that not encourage laziness?
If you are not capable of attracting anyone to yourself, then you will never be capable of attracting anyone to God.
Hello and welcome back to another interesting episode of Shattered Silence, a podcast that uncovers the untold stories of strength, resilience, and personal triumph. My name is Linda and I am your host. Today, I have the honor of being joined by two amazing individuals, Reverend Sisters Oluwakemi and Veronica. Welcome to the show, sisters.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Linda.
I'm really itching to, delve into the questions I have for you all, but let me get to know you a little bit, more. Tell me about yourself. Tell us about yourself, a little bit about yourself. I'll start with you, Sister Kemi.
My name is Oluwakemi Akinleye. I am a daughter of St. Paul, living and working in this community here in Ogba, Lagos.
What about you, Sister Veronica?
Okay, I'm Sister Amaechi, Queen Veronica, daughter of St. Paul. I live and work in Ogba, Lagos, in our community in Ogba, Lagos.
Okay, well, how long have you been, in this community?
Okay, in this our Ogba community, I've been here for less than 6 months, or approximately 6 months. We just moved in. It's a new community. But among the daughters of St. Paul, from the time of formation, I've been here for 15 years, and from the time of profession, 10 years.
Okay, so you've been 10 years being a reverend sister, as a prophet sister. Yeah. Final profession?
Final profession was 2019.
Oh, okay. I want to know, when did you have the calling? When did you know that you want to be a reverend sister?
When really did I know that I want to be a reverend sister? I can't place my hand for sure, but it was an innate desire that was there from my younger years. At some point growing up, I lost it because I just wanted to live my own life. I wanted to be, as free as anybody could be, what I thought was freedom. So I didn't pay so much attention to it. The fire dimmed, but I will not say died off, it dimmed. After my secondary school, I think it picked up again. The flame, I had to fan into flame, that gift, that inner desire that was burning to serve the Lord.
Did you go to a missionary school? How did you... I mean, sisters were just around your area.
No. Interestingly, there were no sisters around my area. In my parish, we used to have some sisters who... Interestingly, the daughters of St. Paul were in my parish for some time, but I never knew them then.
Okay.
They came first. When they came to Lagos, to Nigeria, they were in my parish, but I never knew them then. And then even when I came to meet them, I met them as book people. They sell books. I went to the bookshop to buy books, but I never thought they were sisters that I would want to join. I was not thinking of joining the sisters at that time, so I never paid any attention until much later. And at the time this desire came back or was reignited, there were no sisters around me. It was just a passion from inside.
Wow. Sister Kemi, what about you? When did you know that you want to be a reverend sister? Like, when did that conviction come?
I don't really know if there was really a particular point, because you keep discerning. When you're a young person and you keep searching and you're asking God, what do you want of me? What is this? After high school, I too met the sisters. They came to our parish for a display of their books. And I wasn't too sure then. But something in me just wanted to do something for God, for the people. I wasn't too sure, but I went to visit the sisters with some of my friends, and they told us about their life and what they do. I started picking interest in that. But I remember I prayed a lot about it. I said, God, guide me to the right path. You're asking me to do something inside. But so after high school, yes, maybe the first light came. But then when you're in the formation, you keep discerning. Is this where God wants you to be? Are you doing the right thing? Are you in the right place? So it's not a one-off thing. It's like marriage. You're with this guy, but you keep asking yourself, is this the right person? You keep searching for signs. So it's been a journey of opening myself up to see what God has been asking of me, and that's why I'm here today.
Was there at any point you feel like, no, I'm in the wrong place?
Many times.
Did you go out? Did you leave?
No, I didn't leave, but there were many times I felt the life was very demanding.
Whoa.
When I joined, I was told I was not coming back home. I went to Nairobi, Kenya for formation, and I was told I was not coming back home for 3 years. When I arrived there, I was like, God, I'm not going to live in this house for 3 years. No phone calls. We didn't have cell phones those days. You'd write a letter today, and your letter will get to Nigeria in 6 months' time. The next letter will come back in 8 months' time. So one letter in 14 months. It was tough.
Wow.
It was tough. So there were moments I felt like, God, this is hard. But because of you, I will continue.
Okay, so looking at you right now, you are beautiful.
Thank
so
you.
You know when they say, the way you're beautiful right now, when you were younger, you were more beautiful. Okay, so I'm looking at you like those days. How were you able to like cope with the attraction? Didn't you get any attention at all? Attention from people, from men, from
boyfriends?
Exactly. Did you have boyfriends?
Yes, I did. I am 44 years old now. I think I'm becoming more beautiful as I'm growing older. Because I'm maturing as a woman.
Yeah, but you were not wearing the uniform then. Now, a man looking at you wouldn't even there. But then you weren't wearing the
no, that's not true.
Really?
Beauty is on the face.
Okay.
And your character and how you carry yourself. So people still get attracted to me. I'm like, sister, wow, you're so beautiful. How did you get into the convent with all this beauty? I saw the guys, I had my boyfriends, but I keep telling myself that when it's your vocation, God has a way of orienting you to what is asking of you. So you don't run away from men, don't run away from the boys, but when it's your vocation, you just start letting go of the boyfriends, of all the attention that you think the men will give you to be who you are. Because I am beautiful, not because of the men. It's a gift God has given to me and to many women. So as you begin to know that and learn that, you start letting go.
Okay.
And to add on to that, somebody once said, if you are not capable of attracting anyone to yourself, then you will never be capable of attracting anyone to God.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Word. Okay, but let me ask you, your parents, I mean, they'll be like, okay, I have a daughter, is going to get married someday. How was it like, telling them, oh, mom, dad, this is what I want to do now? What was your reaction like? I'm going to start with your sister.
Okay, for me, it wasn't so difficult.
Okay.
It was more difficult on my part to convince myself that this is the life I want to live than convincing my mom. God rest his soul. My father had passed on by the time I finally decided to join the Daughters of St. Paul. And my mom, interesting, my mom wasn't even at home the first day I made this decision to go in for what they call the Come and See program. So I had to call her on the phone and say, hello, ma'am. By the time you'll be coming back, I will not be at home. And she said, where will you be? I said, I will be in the Sisters Convent in Ikeja. Doing what? Come and see. And I'm like, what is come and see? I don't even know. Ask our parish priest, So when she came back, she had to go to the parish priest, assistant parish priest at the time, and then made inquiry. But when I came back from the Come and See, it took me 2 months then. I had gone on the 1st of April, and I came back on the 1st of June. So when I went back home, so we had to sit down and talk. So what was it you said you went for? I explained. I went with the sisters, the Come and See program. So after this, what next? Mom, I don't know. It's a discernment process. So I keep discerning as they are also discerning. So if they find me worthy, should I use that word, of joining, so they'll give me a call. They'll send me a message and I will go. So that was what happened. So I didn't find it so hard to convince my mom. And more interesting part was that after my final vow in 2019, my mom actually told me that she had always prayed that one of her daughters, who are 3, would be a reverend sister. Because she had the desire, but she was never given the opportunity. So she always prayed for that. And I was like, why didn't you tell me this until now? She said, I didn't want to influence your decision. I wanted you to make your choice and follow it out. So now that you have made your final vows, I can confidently tell you. So it wasn't a big deal for me to convince mom.
Okay, what about you, Sister Kim? Was it easy?
My mother wasn't too sure about, because I joined at the age of 18.
Oh, okay.
I was quite young. So she was like, go to university first. then you will know whether this calling is there. But you're too young. And then I was asked to go to Nairobi, to Kenya. It's like, oh my God, you need to go far away from home. So she wasn't too sure, but I was the one to tell, okay, let me just go and try. My dad was the easygoing type. He was a catechist before in church. Who doesn't know what a catechist is? Like you're a minister in church, that you give a hand to the priest. So you're there for service and teachings and other things. So my dad was quite active in church. So he was like, if that's what you want, go ahead. My mom, that was, but today, everybody is happy for me.
Of course. Okay, well, when I was preparing for this, coming to see you people, right? I read that you people have this, calling to profess poverty. And I found it a little bit too bizarre. Like, why would someone want to be poor? Doesn't mean if you're destined to be rich, you say, no, I want to be impoverished. So can you please tell me about this calling? Like, how do you wouldn't write cards? I mean, your counterparts, your male counterparts, now. So how do you feel? How do you feel? Like, I don't understand. Tell me about this poverty profession and what it entails.
Okay, first of all, it's a vow. There are 3 vows that we make: the vows of chastity, obedience, and poverty. When you use the word a vow, a vow is something that you are making a commitment, like your covenant with God. Okay, you have marriage vows, you have marital vows, you have different groups that you have to make a vow. So it's not just poverty because you want to be poor. No, it's a commitment to a life of contentment.
Oh, okay.
That's what our own type of poverty is. Jesus was a poor man. He didn't build houses. He didn't have cars, but he went around preaching.
Does that not encourage laziness?
No.
Like, okay, I have to be contented with what I want. Like right now, if I'm contented with where I am, I won't be here talking with you people. But because I want more, I'm here trying to. Don't you think it's gonna make some people just be laid back?
That's a misunderstanding of the vow. Because I want to stress on the vow of poverty. Because poverty itself, nobody wants to be poor. You don't want to be in misery, because that makes you takes away some part of your dignity as a human being. So when somebody is really poor and you're like, no, they don't have food, they don't have good education, they don't have health care, you feel. So we serve the poor. We're at the service of the poor. But the vow of poverty means you work hard.
Okay.
You dedicate your life, your energy, your talents, your activities, your resources for what God is calling you to do. So it means that you're working hard. I should be very hardworking. So whatever I get will give life to me, my sisters, and the people around me. But I'm not possessing. I'm not hoarding things. I'm not possessing houses. I'm not possessing cars. Even if I have to take keke or okada, I'm content. My vow makes me know that all these things are available, but they don't define who I am. I can do without them, even when they are not there. When they are there, I can enjoy them. When they are not there, I do without.
Okay, so that means you work, but it goes to a common purse.
Yeah, so let me pick it up from there. I think one thing we didn't say was that we are daughters of Saint Paul. We're Paulines.
Oh, okay.
This says that there are many religions out there, many congregations, and they have specific things that they do, different realities, and then they will interpret the vows. All the vows, the 3 vows that Sister mentioned, otherwise known as evangelical councils, are meant for all the religious, priests or sisters. But then each congregation will interpret it differently. Now, for a Pauline, poverty for us is a poverty that renounces. You renounce the superfluous. You live at the base, like a middle class, if we'll use that word. Not that miserable life, but that contented life. You don't there's no need of having everything in excess for no reason, no stuffing them and you don't even use it. As a sense would say, if you keep something for 6 months that you have not used, then you're a thief. You stole it from the poor, who is supposed to be needing that. So we try to avoid having superfluous. I mean, we look good, but not exaggerated. It's a poverty that builds. Pauline poverty builds. So that will not make you lazy. I want to use it to counteract what he said, that it could make you lazy. No, Pauline poverty is the one that encourages you to build. Yeah. Pauline poverty provides. And then, like Sister said, it's a poverty that is not a miserable one, but one that is taken or vowed in view for the sake of the kingdom of God, and also in view of helping the poor. We're serving the people and the poor people of the society. So it's that kind of poverty that helps you to identify with them, to feel compassionate, empathy towards others. So you don't just sit down and lazy around. No, there's also dignity in work, and you want that dignity for yourself. So yes, so with the kind of formation that we have, it will not encourage the laziness.
Okay, from what you've said, from what both of you have said, I feel like there is a lot that went into the formation. It's a total scrapping of, because me right now, I'm just thinking somehow else, but it's a total scrapping of your mindset and infusing another understanding in you, basically. You talked about the vow of chastity. Me, I cannot run away or look away from that, from that particular one. So we are humans. We are women. Let's just start with that one. Me, like this. Sometime, I'm sure every other person can relate. Sometime of the month, you feel like, oh, I want you to take it back to where you started, because by now you must have gotten used to it and all of that. But when you started, okay, how was it like when you have this urge to do something that you know that your calling is not going to allow it? So how were you able to? Were you fleeing? Because the Bible says we should flee. Were you fleeing? Or what were you doing? Okay. You first.
So let's call it by name, sexual urges.
Yes, yes.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you are aware that the older you grow as a woman, the more the urges are there.
Oh, really?
Yes. You see married women, some married women are not satisfied in their marriages because they have more sexual needs. And they go out. Yes, it's not because when you're younger. No, some people, as you're maturing, the needs are more.
Okay.
Because now I'm a woman that, if I were not in the company, I would have been a mother.
Yeah.
Maybe a grandma, because some people are lucky to be grandmas who are 50. Okay. So when it comes to sexual urges, part of our formation, thankfully, has taught us that just because some days of the month you really feel like you really want somebody to cuddle you and you want all the affection and attention, that's not the only thing about you. Each of us, we are sexual, we're spiritual, we are psychological, we are physical. So there should be a balance between all of this. Okay, because if you don't work to become an integral person, that you grow in your physical self, in your sexual self, in your spiritual self, and your psychological self, you miss out the point. So because I feel the need for sex, I just jump out. Even those who are married, don't do that. So because the vows call you to be chaste even when you're married. So what I do is that, because I said affirmation helps us to be, you grow in self-awareness. Okay, today I'm feeling like this, but excuse me, I'm not the only woman feeling like this. You've got work to do. Can you put that energy in work and be creative? Bring out something more positive. But if you see there, I'm like, oh, today I really feel like I really want to go out for this guy. Your whole day will be right. That's the only thing you're thinking about. You will lose time. You will lose energy. At the end of the day, you're like, what have I done with myself? Because that's not the only thing. And some young people, I know they just, oh, I really want to have sex, and you're out there, just go have sex. And then after that, you're like, and so what? Just pleasure for a moment. But our formation, I want to repeat this, it's a privilege that our formation has helped me to see that your sexual part is not the only thing about you.
Okay.
It's a part of you that your mind, you can train your mind to help your body move more. Yes. I give examples usually. I said there are widows, young widows that have just one child, two children. Maybe at 29, she lost her husband, or 30, and she decides not to get married again. Then you ask, how has she been coping? She's now 60 years old. So if sex were the only thing, she should have been going everywhere after men. But she's like, no, I have values for myself and my children. You have a married man that's a widower and his wife is not there, or maybe the wife is transferred and she's got to go somewhere and he has to be home. But he doesn't want to go around with other women and says, I know my spouse is somewhere, but that calls you to chastity. Whether you are a sister or a priest, a married person, or it's even a single person. Otherwise, we see you like an animal because you're not a cock that just go jumping over the hen. Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
it's that training to say, I'm not only about sex.
Okay.
That's the first thing. So I now tell myself, no, I'm not only about sex. What can I do with my energy now? Because this is sexual energy that is coming out like that. And you channel your energy constructively and build yourself.
So you don't, get covered up in the duvet, or drink water, bake cold water. You don't do any of that.
I don't even bake cold water.
I want to take out from there, and there's also something called discussing with your emotions.
Oh, really?
There comes to a point where you say, okay, you give it a name. So now I have different names, no? So, okay, Queen sits here. Let's talk. What do you want? You want to be satisfied sexually? What? But say, I freely took this vow of chastity. I vowed to be this. So I cannot satisfy this urge. But come with me. I have something very important to do, something very positive. Mind is an energy, but it can be a very creative energy. So can we go to the workroom, to the printing press? I have something to do there. Or can we channel this energy? I'm talking with it. I'm not denying the fact that I have the sexual urges. That's the first trouble. If you start denying it, it will be fighting back and it will want to surface in different areas. But no, I'm owning up to it. You are beautiful and I'm happy that I have you. In fact, that makes me a complete woman. If I don't have it, what then am I sacrificing to God? So that ability to say, I know you are there, I know I'm feeling this, but this inability to satisfy it is what I'm offering up to God for many. It could be any reason. I could put any reason. It could be for a soul in purgatory that I know is suffering. It could be for a woman battling cancer at this time. God, please, this sacrifice I'm making to consciously not satisfy this urge, could you use it as a sacrifice for that woman in Lesotho who is suffering from cancer or any other intention? So I don't deny it, but I don't satisfy it as well. We talk, we agree, and I use the energy creatively to do something else.
So from what you've said, one thing is paramount. You get to accept that it's there, but you don't act on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said you pep talk yourself into accepting, okay, this and that. Don't you pep talk yourself that I'm denying you this thing? Let's be realistic. So you're going to I don't want to sound mundane, but I know what I'm saying. So you're going to sit there and, okay, what do you do when you have temptations from people, from the opposite sex? Men come to you, talking to you. So wait, have you had a situation where a man comes to you, with whole temptation? So what do you do? You?
Okay, so picking up from where you said we're denying it.
Yeah.
No, but that's the reason why I have said I recognize you. Sit, let's talk. Okay. I'm not denying you that you're there. I recognize you.
You're denying that pleasure,
yes, I'm denying the pleasure because I can't eat my cake and have it. I have given that to God. I have dedicated myself wholly to God, that I want to be for Him and Him alone. So I cannot go behind and start, I've given myself to God and I'm still taking myself back and giving to, which name will I call? John Maccabees, I don't know, whatever name. So no, I recognize that you are there, but I cannot satisfy you because of a higher dignity, a higher reason, a higher resolution that I have given myself to God. So for that reason, yes. But do I have men coming around, with their different kind of schemes? Yes, they do. But again, you have to be, I would say one thing that has kept me, it's, okay, there are two: dignity, discipline. Three, my dignity, discipline, and grace. You cannot take grace out of it. It's not just easy to talk it out. No, the grace of God has always been sufficient. The grace of God will carry you through when you really work with God's grace. And my dignity, will I be sleeping with every man that comes my way saying, hi, I love you, or you are good enough for my bread? And no. So I would not want to do that. Even if I'm married, I won't go with every man that come my way. So the same thing in this situation. Men will come around, oh, you are good looking, you are fine, you have everything, but sorry, I've given myself for a greater good. I've dedicated myself and I made this vow. Mind you, it's a free vow. I made it freely. I was not coerced into it. So I should be able to, live it freely, happily, not just living it, but I should also live it happily and be a witness, authentic witness to the life of Christ. And so the temptation comes, but the grace of God also helps me with discipline.
Sister Kemi, does it have any health implications? Because the male gender would say, oh, they used to have, is it eyes are blue? I can't remember what they used to call it, but for female, does it have any, implication health-wise? Even if you've not experienced, have you heard any sister say, okay, this is what I've been through? There's no health implication.
Nope.
Just
I haven't heard of. Instead, you're healthier.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because if you live a life of self-discipline and you're content and you are hardworking and you are flexible to what God is asking of you and you're available, you will be content. You will not be carrying too many health issues. You will be carrying problems that weigh down your mind and your body. And even if you do, as Sister Vero said, there is grace. This is about a life with God. So you must talk to God about what's going on with you. So if you are living as a religious sister or priest or layperson, you really will have to know God, and you say, God, this is for you. I'm dying to just get out and just go have this or that, but I know it is wrong. So help me. Give me the grace to be faithful to you. And he always does. So I want to say it's even healthier if you can keep yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's move away from that vow, because you leave me, I'm going to keep going on and on and on. So, but when I was talking with you, I was looking for a younger. How old have you been, Sister Kemi, in the profession?
26 years now since I joined. I joined October 97.
Whoa! So 2610. I was asking you. I need a young Reverend sister. I said there is nobody lower than 10
in this house now.
In this house now.
No, we have other professed sisters.
Okay. Can I say tentatively that people are not as interesting, they're not finding this as interesting as your generation are finding it? Can I say that, even though I don't have statistics? So what do you think is impediment? Because your generation is almost, you need to imbibe this formation in the younger ones. Yeah. Exactly. So what are the impediments? What do you think are the impediments, sister?
One of the things that I see in the young people that is quite challenging is the vow of poverty. I want to go back there because they're wondering, sister, how can you stay without a salary? I don't have a salary. I don't own a car. This is a big house, but it's not my property. I might be transferred tomorrow to another place. I leave the house and I move. And they're like, how can you stay like that? I mean, I really want to own my own things. And so sometimes young people find it hard to give up things. But those who really want to do what God is asking of them, the grace will be there for them to let go. Yes, because many times we think that I can't do without my phone. Oh, I can't sleep without a woman. I can't do without money. But I have worked with young people as a vocation promoter, sometimes youth talk, and I tell them there were times at home that you didn't have your phone with you and you didn't die. There were many times that you stayed without sex and you didn't die. Or there was no food and you were able to manage until things became better and you didn't die. So if God is asking this of you, you can. But sometimes I think the root word for me would be fear. The fear of not knowing really how I'll manage to live this life. That's why some of them are not interested. Some are like, I want, but from far, let me just... But as I said, there's grace. For those who really want to offer themselves to God for this, He gives the grace.
That's grace.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
What about you, sister?
I would also add that lack of commitment, a sense of commitment to the young people of today. They don't want to get committed. I mean, that is even seen even in marriages. Get married today, and in the next 3-4 months, they're divorced. That patience to work on something continuously. Formation, like you earlier noted, takes in a lot. A lot of you is reformed and formed, what you have known before, what you thought was, the utmost. Then in the process of formation will let you know there's a higher value, there's something better or bigger. And so you go through all that process, like shedding off the skin and rebuilding a new one. So it takes a lot. It takes commitment on my individual part. It takes commitment. It takes a lot. So the young people these days are really not for that. They're also in this instant gratification lifestyle, instant tea, instant coffee, instant money, get rich quick, and all that is taking them away from hard work, from commitment. So yes, the number has declined over the years, but we still have some of them coming up. Let's not deny that. We still have people who are coming up. Like presently in our postulant house, our formation house in Ikeja, we have 6 good-looking women who are still desiring to serve the Lord. Yes, so we still have some of them. Maybe not many, but they are there. And we keep praying.
And we have 3 in Abuja.
Yes.
For the Come and See program now. They'll be there till September.
Okay, so what advice do you have for these? Not just them, not just the young girls right now, but generally anybody who is interested in living a life of purpose. Let me just call it that way. What advice? I mean,
so whether you're religious or not,
yes,
you're a young person and you're
old.
First thing I would say, you have to draw closer to God, because some people think like we can go ahead and go far in life without God. A life with God is life. Our parents will tell us it's good to know God. If you don't know God, your challenges, your troubles, even your joys will not last, because some things will come up. But if you are a person who journeys with God, it's different. And then, as sister said, a life of commitment. Every vocation demands commitment. Like we are here now, you've taken your time to come, set up everything, and it takes time. This thing of Guinness World Record is the in thing now. Everybody wants to just, after Hilda Baci, everybody wants to break a Guinness World Record. The one who made the massage after 12 hours collapsed. No patience to practice and practice and practice till you get the skills. So I would really say a lot of patience is needed, a lot of encouragement, and tell yourself, with God's guidance, I will do what I can. I will be great. I am already endowed with many gifts. So you can be what you want to be and who you want to be in life if you are a dedicated person in whatever vocation, any calling, whatever profession you're doing, whatever career you want to put yourself into. If you are committed, if you are hardworking and you're focused, yes, you will shine. You will shine.
Commitment, focus, and know God. Very important. Do you have anything to add, sister? Has she summarized everything?
Yes, she did. But just to say, nothing good comes easy. So if you want any good thing in life, persevere. Work hard at it. It took Linda 5 years, Hilda 5 years to prepare for that record she broke. So if you want anything good, be committed. Okay. Be determined and intentional. Yes, you have to be intentional at it so that you get it right. Trust God. Pray.
Okay, be committed. Thank God. Trust God and, work towards it. I mean, I've had a jolly good ride with you too. Thank you so much. I'm sure this has been eye-opening and interesting as well. Thank you so much for, sparing me that time. You should be somewhere, right? But you're here. I really appreciate it. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, Sister Oluwakemi. Thank you so much, Sister Veronica. Right? Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe.
Hey, if you are there and you've not yet subscribed, I wonder what you are waiting for. Just do it. And no, I'm not shouting. Please subscribe.
If you have a story to share here on Shattered Silence, do well to send an email in the description below, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll just have your story on an episode like this. Thank you so much. Till I see you next time. Bye-bye.